Raghav plans a trekking trip and carries this food with him. Now this food is sufficient for 15 days. He eats 1 packet per day. So this food is sufficient for 15 days. You can see there are 15 packets. Now what happens is that 4 friends of Raghav also want to join him on the trekking trip. So now he wants to see how much days will it take to consume that food, or that food would be sufficient for how many days. What Raghav knows is that the food is sufficient for 15 days for him alone. That is, for one person, that food would be sufficient for 15 days. Now 4 of his friends are joining him. That is, we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 people now. So he, happily applying unitary method, what he does is, he thinks 1 person 15 days. So 5 persons would be 15 into 5, which is 75. Well, this is what Raghav thought. That the food, that same food would actually last for 75 days. Now how is that possible? Let's see. We know that Raghav eats 1 packet a day. That is, this 1 packet is required per person for a day. So this is what this food is consumed within 15 days. That is, it is sufficient for 15 days. Now what we know is that 4 friends join him. So we have 5 people now. Let us see. On day 1, each person would have 1 packet. So 5 packets gone in day 1 only. Now the second day also, each of them would require a packet each. So 5 packets in the second day. And again 5 packets on the third day. So you can see that the same food is now sufficient only for 3 days. Well, Raghav thought it would last for 75 days, which is not possible because we just have 15 packets. So in fact, what happens is the food is sufficient only for 3 days. So what we realize is that as the number of people are increasing from 1 to 5, the food is the constant here. Food is the same. So the same food is now finished only in 3 days. Earlier it was sufficient for 15 days. Now it is being consumed only in 3 days. So what we can say is, as the number of people are increasing from 1 to 5, the number of days that the food is sufficient for decreases. So number of days is decreasing, but the number of people are increasing. Now let's see. What happens is that this little girl falls ill. So her brother also had to withdraw from the trek. So now they were left with only 3 people. Both of them had to leave. So now we have just 3 people here, which are going for the trek, who are going for the trek. And we have that same food. Now how many days would this food last? Let's see. We have these 3 people. Now these 3 people would require 3 packets in a day. So 1 day, 3 packets are gone. Second day, 3 more. Third day, 4th day, and 5th day. We say that the same food is consumed now for 5 days. So this food is sufficient for 5 days now when there are only 3 people. So for 5 people, the food was sufficient for only 3 days. But for 3 people, the food is sufficient for 5 days. So this is what we observed. That is, that if I decrease the number of people, if number of people decrease, then the number of days that the food lasts would increase. So more the people, less the number of days. Less the people, more the number of days the food would last. That is, if the number of people are decreasing, the days that the food lasts are increasing. So this is what we had seen, that 1 person, the food was sufficient for 15 days. For 5 people, that same food was sufficient for just 3 days. But when there are 3 people, that same food is sufficient for 5 days. Now let us observe the ratio. This is what, here the ratio, we're finding the ratio of increase in the number of people, but the number of days is actually decreasing. So here the ratio is 1:5. And here the ratio is 15:3. But again, 3 is a common factor. So this in the simplest form would be 5:1. So we have 1:5 here, and here we get 5:1. So what you can see is that the ratios would be equal if I take inverse of this. That is, if I reciprocate it, then it would be 1:5. Then both of them would be same. So what I can say is that the ratio of increase in number of people is inversely equal to the ratio of decrease in the days. That is, the ratio of increase in number of people is equal to the inverse of this ratio, which is the ratio of decrease in number of days. So inverse ratio of decrease in days. So both these ratios are equal, and both these ratios are not directly equal, but they are inversely equal. If ratios are equal, I call it proportion. And since they are not directly equal, they are inversely equal. So what I call it, that these are in inverse proportion. So number of people and days for the same food are inversely proportional. That is, they are in inverse proportion. Further, let's look at this. Now what is happening is, I am decreasing the number of people. From 5, I am making it 3. So ratio of decrease is 5:3. But if I decrease the number of people, the number of days that the food lasts increases. Now let us look at the increase of this ratio here. Increase would be equal to 3:5 here. So what I can see is, again, here I get 5:3. Here I have 3:5. So 5:3, 3:5. Now if I inverse it again, this would be 5:3. Then both the ratios would be equal. So what I can say is that ratio of decrease in number of people is equal to inverse ratio of the number of increase in days. Ratio of increase in days, which is the ratio of decrease in number of people is equal to inverse ratio of increase in number of days. So this is what I get. So what I can see is that number of people and days are inversely proportional. Now let us come back to the question we had started for. Raghav was going alone and he had food that was sufficient for him for 15 days. 4 friends join him, so there are 5 people now. How many days will the food last? Now we know that number of people and days are in inverse proportion. Since they are in inverse proportion, I can write here that 1:5 would be equal to this ratio, would be equal to inverse of this ratio. So if this is x, the unknown is x, now 1:5 would be equal to the inverse ratio, which is x:15. Now since two ratios are equal, I can say they are in proportion. So 1:5 is in proportion to x:15. Now again, since they are in proportion, I can apply product of means would be equal to the product of extremes. Means here are 5 and x. So 5 times x is 5x. This would be equal to the product of extremes, which is 1 times 15, which is nothing but 15. So 5x is 15. From here I can find that x would be equal to 3, which is what we had found earlier, that if 5 people are there, then that same food would be sufficient only for 3 days. Now let's see whether you can answer this question. 3 friends planned a trekking trip and they carried some food which was sufficient for 14 days. So 3 friends planned a trekking trip which the food was sufficient for 14 days. Now they are planning another small week-long trip, but more friends want to join them. So now if they have that same food, how many friends can join them? Let's see. We know that friends, that is number of people that are going and number of days the food lasts, are in inverse proportion. So number of people and days are in inverse proportion. What we are given is that for 3 friends, that is for 3 people, food is sufficient for 14 days. Now what we know is that they are going for a small week-long trek. A week is 7 days. So we know that days are 7. But we do not know how many people can come. This is what we do not know. So let this be x, the unknown. So we call this unknown as x. Now since they are in inverse proportion, I can say that 3:x is as to inverse of this ratio. This is 3:x. Inverse of this would be 7:14. 7:14. Now this would be again proportion. So product of means would be equal to the product of extremes. So 7x would be equal to 3 times 14. This gives me that x would be equal to 3 times 14 divided by 7. Now 7 twos are, so this gives me 6. So what I find is that for 7 days, 6 people can go. That is, the food that they have is sufficient for 7 days if 6 people go. So 3 people were already going. We were asking how many more friends can join him. So how many friends can join them? 3 people were already there, so 3 more friends can join them because 6 people can go with that same food for 7 days. So that's how we can use inverse proportion. Remember that things are not always in direct proportion. They can be in inverse proportion like we've just seen. So important is to figure out whether they are in direct proportion or inverse proportion. Check whether increasing one decreases the other or increases the other. So from there you can find whether things are in direct proportion or in inverse proportion. Once you find that, then you can easily say that product of means would be equal to product of extremes. That holds true for both direct proportion and inverse proportion.